adding the mouth and eyes to portraits. Hello, artists. In this first part of our video, we're going to talk about teeth and lips and whatever. Teeth, as you can see, compared to the white of the text on this page, are never, never, never white. It is super, super important that you make sure you're picking colors from your photograph and check them. Compare them, choose the color a little bit on or next to a tooth if you have teeth showing, so that you can confirm that you have the right color for your teeth. And they're not all one color like I have on that first layer of color. There's shading on your teeth. Your teeth have form to them, so they're not going to be completely all one solid color. And even with this layer, I don't think I'm even really done. I'm putting the audio in after I made the video, because it's a time lapse and you can't put audio on top of while you're doing a time lapse. Looks like I didn't, but there is shading now on my teeth, so you can see that. And I'm going to go in and do the darkest parts in the corners of my mouth where you can see kind of back into my mouth. I'm going to do that first. And then the corners of my lips where my lipstick is the darkest, and kind of lighten up, compare colors and lighten up as I get closer into where the highlights are on my lips. Okay, I turned off the lines just for a second to see how things were looking, and where I need to touch up and where I'm adding color in the wrong place. So do that every once in a while so you can fix things as you go. Another thing to think about with your lips and putting in highlights and shadow, the lower lip is going to have brighter highlights than the upper lip, because most of your upper lip is in shadow. And so the brightest highlights are going to be on usually the lower lip. But always look and compare your drawing to your source image and check it out and make sure that that is the case. And I decided I was dissatisfied with some of the shadows. They weren't dark enough compared to the darkness of my lips and inside my mouth. Another thing I decided, and that's coming up here in a second, is that the color of the background that I chose wasn't the best color. It didn't make our skin look as, kind of looked almost pale. So I changed the color of my paper. In Autodesk Sketchbook you can do that, and I picked this color because I think our skin looks about the best. Now I'm starting on my eyes, checking and comparing the color with what's in the photo. Yeah, my eyes are blue, but with the light the way it is and my eyes being kind of narrow when I smile, they're not going to be blue like they really are. They're in shadow, and the light's not hitting in a way that the blue really, the true shade of blue that my eyes are, really shows up. So keep that in mind and check your colors, compare them to the photo. Okay, I'm getting down to some really fine detail, and I'm going to be looking directly off of my photo. And in a second, I'm going to turn off the lines so I can kind of get those out of the way and be able to do some finer revisions and shading around my eyes, because compared to the darkness of my eyes and the darkness, the shadows inside my mouth, my shadows around my eyes don't seem dark enough. Even in your face, there are some pretty dark shadows that help make the contours in your face, make your face look round and like your eyes kind of go back in your head, because they do. And make your eyelids seem rounded and your cheeks seem rounded and all of those kinds of things, because in a way you're a sculptural form, and how you put in the highlights and the shadows makes you look sculptural. So be very, very careful that you are not blending so much that the shadow colors you put on there are blending in completely. I had a student that kept adding shadow and kept adding shadow, and he would just blend it until it was completely gone, and couldn't understand why his face wasn't looking rounded. But we got him to the place where he needed to be, and his portrait actually turned out quite good. So we can rescue it if you make a mistake and blend too much. So keep going, check with me, make sure everything is, ask questions, have me look at it, and so we can make your portrait the best it can be. Okay, and we're finally getting down to the end of the eyes and lips. I added my glasses and forgot to hit the time-lapse button in Sketchbook, and so there's a big section where I was putting in my glasses and adjusting the color and all that. So sorry. Anyway, with my glasses were black at this time, and but I didn't use black to make the glasses. I used a very dark blue, and I layered some purple on top of that, and then the complement of the purple that you can see in the color picker. Then I think I layered some more purple on top of the complement color, and I got something that looks a lot like black, but it's not black. And if you look closely, you can see places where I'm adjusting the shadow to make it look right with the darkness of my glasses, and I put in the highlights on the top, the top of my glasses and right inside the lenses. So that's it for that part. On to the next.